Alright, let's do an activity, shall we? So you're going to take your hands and you're going to rub them together. Nice and briskly. We're going to take a second to move into what I call body time, which is often a little bit slower than our minds. And once your hands are going to be nice and warm, you're going to move them apart in a ball shape. And you're going to move your hands apart like this, back and forth, and maybe a little bit up and down. And when I do this, I feel like I have something alive in my hands, because I do. I am sensing and moving my energy system. This is what makes us alive, and this is what we're going to be talking about today. Hello and welcome to the Art Witch. In today's episode of Feel Good Fridays, we are going to talk about how to live your best life and ritual with energy. So there are a couple of ways the energy works. One is that it wants to cross. So let's do another activity together. So let's put our hands on the opposite shoulder, and we're just going to sweep down to the opposite hip. We're moving in an X shape. So sweep down to the opposite hip. Nice and firmly. And breathe. So when your energy crosses, it helps you to create greater cognition. It improves your mood. And it's going back to really your DNA, which moves in that spiral shape, right? So this is easy to forget sometimes in our sedentary lifestyle. And the other thing to know about energy is that it likes to move. So if you're familiar with the figure 8 shape, on the infinity loop like this is the way that energy moves when it's in balance. And so what you can do is you can trace the shape in any spot that feels a little tight, a little bit painful, to create greater movement. And that is going to generate more life force for you. So I'm just going to move to the back of my head, and I'm just going to go directly on my skull, and I'm just going to trace figure 8s, the infinity symbol, on the back of my head. Usually slower than I think I should. All around the back of my head. So this is feeling really good to me right now. And once you do this, you are facilitating greater movement. So when you feel sick, it's not because you've manifested that, it's just because things are not in balance. That is a very important point to remember. And you're sitting down and you're looking to do a ritual, it is helpful to first cross and trace figure 8s to generate more of that life force, because that is what I see as raising energy. So another thing to remember in energy work is that your energy is going to be influenced by the environment that you're in. And in this case, I'm referring to sensory stimulation, like loud music, bright lights, and also people that you interact with. So when you interact with people, you can create chords with them. Chords to indicate what your relationship is like, and this is not always negative. Sometimes if you have like a beloved pet, you're going to create a chord with them because it is based out of love. And very often it is possible to create it took me years to realize that I was actually a very positive and optimistic person. I was around people who were very negative and very depressed, and that was bringing me down. And that is what I started to identify with. So clearing cords with someone is fairly easy. What you need to do is you can take your hand. So we have energy centers in the palm of our hand, and we're going to put your hand like this, and you're just going to sweep across the front of your body, exactly like a windshield wiper. And you're just going to have the intention that you're clearing away all cords that don't serve you, everything that's draining you. And another way that you can do this is you can kind of dust yourself off down your front line. And as a very sensitive person, I find that I need to do this quite a lot because I pick up a lot. And once you do this, you will need to also zip yourself up. So seal yourself up in a positive way. I mean, the way that we do that in energy medicine is we do the zip up. So you're going to go to your tailbone and you're going to trace up the front of your body up to your bottom lip. So let's do that again. Put your both hands at your tailbone and you're going to trace up to your bottom lip. And you could have the intention that you are sealing yourself up, and it's a good idea to do that by saying an affirmation, whatever comes to mind. So one that I've used before is, I love myself just the way I am. I am not a battleground for negativity. My energy is sovereign. And this is helpful in order to live your best life. You can create cords with your coworkers, your partner, your friend, followers on social media. So very helpful to know how to do this. And if you're going to go into a ritual, you're going to create more protection around yourself. You can also create cords with deities, beings that you work with. And if you do that, then it's a good idea to be careful out there. So that's why protection is helpful. It's precaution, and there are varieties of ways to protect yourself. So I am an artist, so I like color. I like to use the color purple. This links into the violet flame. So the violet flame is a thing that's been going on for about 150 years. You can visualize the violet flame around yourself, and the energy of purple, the energy of violet is very cleansing and protective. And this is going to be like almost like sometimes a second skin. And this is something that I would advise if you are like me and very sensitive. You find that you're picking up other people's emotions a lot, even the emotions of countries and the emotions of the world. There's certainly a lot going on right now. So protection is another very important thing that I would mention. These are very simple exercises that you can do multiple times a day. They only take a minute. I hope they're helpful for you.